we're off to the races, folks. Good morning. Wait, no, that was wrong. Hello.
Will you say good morning?
Did we? I don't know.
Good morning.
Good night. There we go. Hello. Welcome back to my aunt's attic.
Welcome back. Let's unpack.
Okay, how you doing, Mary Grace?
I'm a little tired because I woke up really late.
Wait, what? You woke up late?
Yeah.
Usually that sentence starts with, I woke up really early.
Well, I'm still waking up.
Okay.
Because I do this thing every morning where I tell myself I'm going to wake up at 7, and then...
You don't.
I don't, and I set, 2 half-hour, alarms. I'll be like, okay, I wake up in a half hour, and then I wake up and I'm like, and then I do another half hour. Well, I woke up at 9, staring at a half-hour alarm that had been unpressed, unset. I selected a half hour, and then just left it. So.
Good job. Have you ever set an alarm for what you think is 7 a.m., but you accidentally put for 7 p.m. and then you screw yourself over?
I'm sure that I have.
Are you one of those people that has one alarm that, changes it every time that you need it? Or do you have, the 15 different alarms?
I used to keep every single alarm, but now I just have, 4 or 5.
I have, pretty much every hour of the day set as an alarm, and I'll just go through and turn it on.
Yeah, some people have, every minute or every 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I used to.
I don't snooze. If my alarm goes off, I'm up. But I use my downtime. I'll wake up a little early and then use some downtime in the morning before I actually get out of bed, because I have a problem. It's actually an addiction. I'm pretty sure it could be categorized as that. I cannot get up out of bed or go to sleep without reading fan fiction. It's like my bedtime story. It's like my wake up bedtime story as well.
Yeah, I have that problem. It's called TikTok, though.
Yeah. I was looking at my usage, and I think TikTok did take first place in how many hours I was using it. I had over 2 hours on that thing, and I was like, okay, I gotta stop. But yeah, I can't get out of bed, and I use AO3, the website AO3, for fanfiction. I know you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, but listen.
I thought there was just Wattpad.
No, it's Archive of Our Own, AO3. I used that, and it was down for maintenance or something happened. It was down for a day, and I was like, I got on Tumblr, and I was like, somebody please help me, what do I do? I can't get out of bed, send help.
That's so funny.
It's so problematic. Although, I will say, shout out to all the fanfiction writers, because a lot of times, they are better writers than the original authors of the books that they're writing about, or the TV shows, whatever it may be. Oh, there it is. But I've read some that are more intricate and more developed than the original books. And it is so problematic that I'm painting myself in a bad light. The addiction is so real that I have actually read and driven at the same time. Yeah, it's bad. I'm not joking.
Oh my God.
When I say some of these authors are that good, I literally cannot freaking put it down. It's bad. I only did it a couple times when I was in the middle of a really, really good one. I don't do that anymore. I don't do it anymore. I'm so sorry, folks.
Crazy.
Anybody on the road with me, I'm so sorry. But the addiction is real. It could be worse. It could be crack.
Do you do audiobooks?
Not a whole lot. I did do the graphic audiobooks of the Lord of the Rings series because it was so, so good. The graphic audiobooks have music, the characters, the background noises, it's awesome. It's like a movie, but you just can't see it. But I did try to do the audiobooks of the Percy Jackson. Within a single minute, I was like, this narrator sucks. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So you have to have a good narrator. My mom keeps bugging me. She's like, you should do that. I'm like, I love to read though, and I don't want the things that I love to become work and become tedious. And I've been told a time or two that, yeah, I'm pretty good at reading and having a good inflection while I'm reading or whatever, but it's I don't want that to become work. So I could probably make bank off of it. I'm just that good. But do you do audiobooks? You don't read. So
Maybe not. I actually don't know. I haven't checked in a while. But when I had to, do school reading, I would do a lot of audiobooks. I think, well, my first year of going to school at the high school I went to, I don't know if I should say it. We had like
Call them out.
Christian Brothers Academy in Syracuse on Randall Road.
Really calling them out. Oh, dang.
Well, that school sucks. So when we had summer reading, we'd have like 5 or 6 books we had to read, and I don't read at all. So the first year, I was actually really into the books, and so I ended up reading, I think, most of them. And then the year after that, I just went to audiobooks.
5 or 6?
If you were in honors too, you had to do like 2 extra, so I had to do extra.
You were in honors.
Yes, I was! I was in honors English! Until like 10th grade.
They were like, screw this, I'm out.
And then I was not in honors English. One time I did that thing, I don't know if you've seen it online, but if you have to submit a paper and you haven't done it, to just type like error 72472 and on the document and then send it to the teacher. And my teacher was so old and I did it to her.
You suck. You're the worst. You're going to hell.
I feel so bad.
That
she
is.
fell for it.
That's
and I got like an A. Like 2 weeks later.
That's peak level douchebaggery.
But you know what? She doesn't have electricity in her in her house.
Want to try
Oh
that
my god,
again?
that was such a you thing that I just did. I don't do that. I don't do that all the time, but you do.
I talk too fast. The lips can't keep up with the brain.
She doesn't have electricity in her house.
She Amish?
No. Just
old?
herself.
Just
I don't
old. She
know.
never got with the 21st century.
I guess.
Goodness gracious. When was electricity? That's really dumb.
I think the late 1800s, right?
I don't know. I just keep thinking of Downton Abbey when they got the telephone in their house, and what's his name? What's the main butler?
I've never seen it.
What? It's so good.
I've just been told that I look like the oldest sister.
Yes. Whose name is also Mary.
It is?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yep, you do. I can see it. Absolutely. But no, it's really cute. Like the head butler, they get the telephone in his house and he doesn't know how it works because back then the first telephones would go to operators and then they would send the call out.
Mm-hmm.
And so he keeps like picking up the phone to like practice his introduction to how he's going to answer the phone if anyone ever calls. And he's like, "Hello, and it's going to the operator. The operator can hear it." And they're just like, "Can we help you?" He's like, "Whoa, whoa."
That's so cute.
Oh, I love that show so much.
Wasn't the word hello invented for the purpose of answering a telephone?
That sounds correct. We're going to say yes. Absolutely.
I think that's true. I think people would like face to face would say like, "Oh, greetings, good afternoon." But then on the phone they didn't have like a way to answer, so I think
that sounds incorrect, but we're going to go with it. We'll do some research. No, we're not, because we don't do that.
Just pretend.
No, but that, I told my aunt about the linguistics of how okay came to be.
You told me.
I told you?
On the podcast.
Did I?
Last
I don't
week.
remember. I don't
2
remember
weeks ago.
anything.
I loved it. I absorbed that so hard.
Did you? Well, I'm glad
I'll
to hear
correct.
that. I did not absorb it, apparently, about when I talked about it. So, fair warning, I will probably reiterate stories a whole lot, because I can't remember Jack. I've got the memory of a goldfish.
I think you said that.
Oh my god!
Already on the podcast.
I suck! Oh my god.
Although, well, I don't have a goldfish, I have a betta fish, and he's the best fish in the world. He's like a dog. Like, I walk in the room, and he'll be doing something in the corner, and then he sees me, and he gets all excited, and he swims up to to look at me, and if I put my face next to it, he, swims really hard to the glass.
That's my cousin's girlfriend has a fish, Walter, I think, and she calls him up, and I'm sitting right next to him at the kitchen table. She calls him up, and he's just like, "Walter's gone." And we're like, "Oh, no." And she was like, "No, he's, physically gone. I can't find him." I'm like, "It's just a tank." He's like, "It's gone. Walter's gone." He run away?
Where was he?
I have no idea.
Might have been in the filter.
Oh,
that
dear.
happens. Or sometimes they jump out. Not
Is it betta fish? Or any fish?
Any, I think.
My family had a 125-gallon tank set into the wall. And then, there was, a little back room to get into it, feed the fish and everything.
Whoa.
And there was one fish that was just a freaking kamikaze. and would jump out and try to kill itself. We'd walk in there, like, fish on the ground, just constantly. And so thankfully, we're sitting in the living room and you hear just,
Yeah.
fish dying, like, tossing themselves around. Like, what the heck? Okay, how big is your tank?
It's 6 gallon.
So small.
Yeah, very small.
We have those magnet things that you put, like, one inside the tank and one outside to, like, clean the wall of it.
Yeah.
I loved that thing.
And I had friends who had one, and I loved it too. But mine's not big enough to need one.
It's the simple things in life that keep children occupied.
I love magnets, bro.
Dude,
Magnets are so cool.
Do you have bloodworms? Have you ever done bloodworms?
Eh.
So like there's these little cubes of frozen
Oh,
little
I know
worms,
what you're talking about.
and then you just grab a cube and then you pinch it and wiggle them around.
I've never done those.
That was always a thrill. Me and my brother would fight over who got to do the bloodworms because it was so gross.
Ew.
And I loved it. I loved it. Do you like to go fishing?
Yeah, I do. Remember, there's that picture of me that I sent you?
Oh yeah, just chilling, just. We're gonna have to put that as
deadpan with the fish.
Put that as your Tinder profile. Where was I going with that? You interrupted me.
You asked me if I like to fish.
What was I going to say? Oh, what bait do you use?
Worm.
Okay, so you... Okay.
But I will never do it myself.
You don't like touching worms?
Mm-mm.
You should have seen me. It was like a kid. It had rained real hard one day, and so you know how when the water is too flooded, worms will crawl out onto the pavement, and there was a bunch in the little gutter along the road here, and you should have seen me because, like, the water was backed up because there was a bunch of dirt and leaves and everything in front of the drain, so I grabbed a stick and I was like, it was like a little kid crouched outside playing in the dirt and worms and everything, and I was pushing worms around. I was like 27-year-old being a goblin outside.
I've been playing with a lot of them this week because I've been doing, like, the mulch in my, I don't know what you call it. The landscaping area of my house. You don't call it a garden.
The landscape.
The landscape?
Yeah.
I've been doing the mulch in it, so but with gloves. I've been picking them up and throwing them.
I think he eats the dirt. I just thought about that. That's the perfect movie.
What movies? Oh, Holes. I've seen that.
That's the perfect movie.
I do love that movie.
Apparently, it was like the greatest adaptation from a book to a movie because people are like, it's so accurate. It's basically line by line, just perfect. I love how they did that. The whole like backstory of what's his face and her Sally Sweetfoot. What's her name?
Mm-mm.
Kissin' Kate Barlow. That's it.
Mm.
I played in Pecos Bill in 3rd grade. We did a play called Pecos Bill. Words are not my friend, but we did that, and I played like the lead character. I forget her name, like Sally Swiftfoot something or other, and I had to ride a giant fish, in a dress. Someone brought in like this giant stuffed fish they got from the fair, and then I had to wear like a dress because like the next scene I was getting married, and because we're 3rd grade, we're not doing full props. It's literally in the classroom, and I had to quote unquote ride a fish in a dress in cowboy boots.
That's really funny.
The kid, I'll never forget. His name was Josh. I got married. He played Pecos Bill or whatever, and we technically got married like at the end of the play, and we made such a to-do about it, and like we got divorced multiple times. We got married 3 times. We got divorced 4 times because idiot children. That's how life works, obviously.
That's so cute. At my school that I went to in Indiana, they would have like a wedding for Q and U for like the 1st or 2nd graders.
What?
Like, because you know Q, the letters Q and U like always go together.
Okay.
Like when you're spelling a word, like if you have a Q, that's always followed by U, in English at least.
Yeah.
So they had a wedding for the letters Q and U to like join them together in the kids' minds. So one of them would be Q, one of them would be U, and then they all attend the wedding and they would get married.
That's some cult shit.
It's cute.
What's the maypole thing? That sounds like a maypole.
The maypole. Oh, we didn't have anything like that, but we had a hula hoop contest.
I always loved field day at the end of the year.
I got a field day story.
Bring it on.
I don't know if this is as traumatizing as it was for me, but it was field day. I was in kindergarten. I was outside. Okay, I don't know why, but like nothing fit me when I was a kid. Maybe I was small or maybe I was just stupid, but I had these pair of like khaki, like white...
That's where you went wrong.
Shorts. And you know when you're a kid and it has the little elastic on the inside you can adjust with the button? Loved those. And I would crank that shit to 1,000. I don't know why. Like, when I was a kid, my underwear was always really tight, and my, like, pants were always really tight around my waist. So I would crank that shit to 1,000. I would cut extra button holes in it if I needed to. So I had my shorts cranked to 1,000, and I was standing outside in the field on the field day, and all of a sudden, just like, and my pants like exploded. And like I just like looked down and I was looking at my underwear. They didn't fall all the way down, but they like I felt like a pressure release and they exploded and I was just like, oh crap. And so I went inside and I tried to call my mom, but we didn't live close to my school or anything, and she was out. She didn't answer. So the nurse gave me a rope, and I tied the rope around my little kindergarten waist. Oh my god! And I went on with field day.
That's something you see in like something off like Ned's Declassified or something.
Yeah.
That's oh my god, a rope. That's too freaking.
Yeah, she
that's
gave me
gold.
a rope.
Oh my god, I loved field day. Holy frick! I remember 5th grade though. You went from like participating in field day to running field day. Like everyone got their little booth or whatever they had to do, and we all thought we were like kings of the hill. We were the shit back then. Like, yeah, we're in charge here. We were so mean to the kids.
Oh no,
we were so mean because how it worked. Like you had this little card, and you would check mark all the different activities that you did, and you could do it up to 3 times. Most people would just go around and do the activity 3 times in a row, right then and there, instead of having to backtrack. And so, because of that, I remember being on such a power trip that when kids would come up, they're like, yeah, I'll do it 3 times, and then I would check mark it off. They would do it once, and I'm like, leave, you're done. That's so mean!
That is so mean.
All, like, me and my friends were all, like, little power trips and everything. I was just like, you can't put kids in charge of this stuff. We'll ruin someone's life.
One time I volunteered to do, like, a booth or whatever at a field day, but I was in high school. I think I was 16, and it was at my sister's school, so I was going to be with like my sister and her little friends, and they had too many people, so I ended up just playing the games with them. And I have a video of me doing like frisbee, or I'm throwing something and all the little children are chanting Mary Grace, Mary Grace, and I was like 16 years old. And they were what, 12?
You have your minions.
Funny.
You have all your minions.
It was so fun, though.
Oh my god. I would love to do something like that nowadays. Is there a thing?
I feel like OCC tried to put stuff on, but... Because they did, like, a bouncy house. And, laser tag.
What?
OCC.
Laser tag?
They had, like, a laser tag, like... They brought this...
Is that what that
dome,
was?
This alien-looking...
Is that what... I thought that was,
like... laser tag.
I thought that was, one of those... What do you call them?
She's waving her hand back and forth. So I put my hands up to play my song.
That's it. No, the planetarium.
No, it was laser tag.
I would have rather a planetarium. I'm a nerd.
I love a planetarium.
I love planetariums so much.
Yeah.
There was they actually brought a planetarium thing like that to our school one time, and I remember it being like a dome, and you have like a little tunnel that you had to crawl through to get in there, and I was in heaven, quite literally. But it was just like all the stars and everything, and then we went on a trip to like Carnegie Science Center or something, and then there was
whoa, I love that place
in Pittsburgh. Near Pittsburgh,
You've
been there?
Like
I love
several
that.
times.
Oh my god, it's so freaking cool.
Several times.
I want to go back so bad.
I love it.
Because we went a couple different times. One of the times that I was older, they had one of those roller coaster simulators.
Yep, I did it.
And I spent my entire time in that line waiting for that. I was next in line. We got called away for lunch.
No!
I was pissed.
You never got to do it?
I didn't get to do it.
It's okay. It wasn't that great.
It was just, I've been on them before, so it was like, whatever. But I was next in line. And the same exact thing happened to me when we went to Washington, D.C. I was next in line to go through Washington's house. Got called away for lunch.
No way.
I'm like, what is my shit luck? What is this? I don't understand. Why is the world out to get me? I just want to do the interesting things.
That's so dumb.
irritating. Where was I going with that? I was going somewhere with that.
Planetarium?
What? No, yes, but they also did, what are those, like, theater called? Those, like, large wraparound theaters.
Oh, like IMAX.
No, yes, but no. It was, like, there's a name for it.
Like,
it was
more domey?
Yeah. And it was, like, full-on surround. Like, the whole thing, the screen was, like, over your head, around, wrapped around. And they did one of those, like, under-the-sea things.
Was it, like, dolphins and stuff?
Yeah, it was, like, everything. It was just, like, this whole underwater scene. And it was, like, all learning about underwater everything. But the problem was, like, the theater itself was, like, dome-shaped, but then the seats were so steep. I got vertigo. And as I was climbing up, like, I started to fall backward. My gym teacher had to catch me. I was like, that's embarrassing. Like, oh
I went to one when I was a little kid. We did, like, a dolphin movie, and I remember being dizzy.
Yeah.
Walking in it.
Yeah.
During the movie, I was fine, but...
Have you ever been to Universal?
Mm-hmm.
Poseidon's something or other? The Curse of... There's some, like, walk-through thing, like, show. Okay. It's more of a show. It's not a ride or anything. You kind of walk through it, and you walk into this room, and this guy puts on this little show about, like, getting into the temple of something or other, and, like, discovering the secret code, whatever. And it's this whole thing, and then you're in this other theater, and this whole thing goes on, and then at one point, this wall opens up, and it's supposed to be, like, you're walking through, like, a wall, or, like, a tunnel of water.
Oh, and it's spinning this way, and you're walking forward? I know what you're talking about. Okay. I've done one, but not at a Universal.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I've done that. I love that thing. I think that attraction, I don't know what to call it, because like I said, it's not a ride or anything. I love that. And I went through, another time I went through, like, a haunted house, and they had to get out of the haunted house, the last room was, like, a little metal bridge going through a spinning room.
Yeah.
The whole thing was spinning, and, like, you're walking, and you're, like, tipping over, like, I'm almost falling over. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
It blew my mind. I was like, I'm not stable enough mentally as it is to handle something that's tripping me out.
I love stuff like that, though. I love, like, illusions, and I love stuff like that.
We had one of those books in elementary school. It was, like, a whole section we had on optical illusions. And, like, the ones where you have to, like, the really long, tall letters that you can't read until you tip the book up. I think that's the coolest thing ever. I love that. And that's actually how road signs, you know, on the road, they look totally normal from your perspective, but when you actually look at them, they're, like, super stretched out and long, and I'm like, that's trippy. That's trippy.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm such a nerd for, like, visual, I don't know what the word is.
Optical
visual science.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's good stuff.
I remember...
There it is. Good stuff.
You know, like, Good Mythical Morning?
What?
You don't know Good Mythical Morning?
What?
Good Mythical Morning?
You keep saying it. I ain't getting it.
Like Rhett and Link. No way! Really?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's these two guys. Oh my god! I don't know why I'm even explaining it. They have, like, a YouTube show, and they have a podcast. They have everything. They're very famous. Like,
apparently not to me.
Some
You
of the
live
most
under
famous
a rock.
people on YouTube.
I live under a rock.
All right.
It's not just a boulder. It's a rock.
A great, big, beautiful rock. And it's in great shape. The pioneers used to ride these babies for miles. I love SpongeBob.
Oh my god. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just going to say something about Good Mythical Morning, but if you don't know what it is, then
I'm going to have to look into it. I can't help you. Do they go into myths?
They make a video, I think, every weekday, and they've been on for, like, over 10 years. Dang. So they've covered everything. But I was gonna say that when I was a little kid, I was super into illusions and stuff, and so I remember on my little iPod Touch, I typed in, like, illusions on YouTube, and their video came up, and so I've been watching them ever since, and it's been
love at first sight.
9 or 10 years.
Well, that's
all the people listening know who they are. Everybody else in the world knows. My mom knows who they are, so.
Wow. That's rude. I'm sorry, I'm not up to date with everything. I'm still Sam and Colby.
I just don't know how you don't know about them.
I don't have TV.
It's not TV. It's YouTube.
But I don't have anything. I get on Facebook long enough to make sure I don't have any notifications, then I get off. And then to also check if, things are going sideways. Oh my god. Got called out on Facebook. One, I called her out for another post, but no, this time I follow my old hometowns page just to check in on what's going on and, you know, keep up to date with things, and I'm so glad I did. So my parents own rental properties, and my mom went to one of her rental properties to take care of something, drop something off. I don't know the story, but the house is really close to the street, and there's some street parking there, but apparently it was all full, so she parked in the yard. Problem is, she parked on top of the sidewalk, which is technically illegal. For legal purposes, this is a joke. But, so she parked on the sidewalk. Somebody took a picture, posted it on the St. Clairsville page. And it was just like, I guess if there's not room on the road, just go ahead and park in yards. She got called out for it, and of course she's commenting on it, just like, this is blah blah blah, but I'm like, just let it go, it's just funny. Like, God somebody bless. Had to stick up their butt, and of course they were just like, you know, oh, this is technically illegal, and then she has to get all defensive about it and whatnot. I'm like, let it go, it's freaking funny. I
think that's hilarious.
And that's the thing, it's her property. You know, yeah, it was on the sidewalk, but at least she waited until the grandma and the ducklings and the little kids got out of the way before she parked on it, you know? She could have done a lot worse. But I don't know, it was just, she got called out. I'm like, I'm so glad I got on Facebook today. It was so funny.
The high school that I graduated from, they have I'm sure a lot of high schools have, like, they post bad parking in the parking lot. I think that's so funny. Oh, that's so good.
I would have made it on that list when I parked on top of a telephone pole.
Can you imagine? You see a picture of your car
just chilling out on the wire.
Like, bad parking by Danielle today.
Oh man, I was proud of that. That was cool. That was fun.
Thank God I didn't drive in high school.
No? I was the designated driver. Partly because I'm a control freak and I can't stand being at the mercy of other people. And also because I had the most fun car.
Did you?
Yeah. I do the hand-me-downs. I don't buy my own car. I'm too cheap for that. So I took my brother's hand-me-down Jeep Grand Cherokee. Nice. And he destroyed that thing. So I took it when it's on its last leg, and I did everything I could to keep that thing going. And, but yeah, no, I was the designated driver. And, of course, there was nothing to do in St. Clairsville. So it's literally, you're just driving up and down the road, make a stop at Walmart, go 6 times through Taco Bell drive-thru before we get in trouble with the cop.
That reminds me of that John Mulaney story of the jukebox.
Yeah. Did I tell you and Eric that story after we stopped recording, though? I'm pretty sure.
The Taco Bell story?
Yeah.
Tell it again. Go for it.
So, and I was just talking to my cousin this morning about this, too. There's nothing to do in my hometown. Absolutely nothing.
Or just in Ohio in general.
Yeah, just period. So, you have to make up your own fun, and of course, to do that, you're just driving around nonsensically. So one night, me and a few of my buddies, we're just driving around doing whatever, back and forth, up, down the streets, and they get the bright idea. It was the summer before college, and my friend Evan, he wanted to get a no dumping sign to put over his toilet in his dorm. So we go to one of our other buddies' neighborhoods, and there's the trash, like dumpsters and everything, and of course, no dumping, because that makes sense. But they wanted that sign. And so I'm driving the getaway car, and I'm like, listen, I'm going to drop you guys off. You get the sign. I'm going to make a loop around the neighborhood just because we don't want to park here and make it obvious. I'm going to do one loop, get it off by then. If not, I'm leaving your asses here. So they couldn't, I do my loop, I get back, they couldn't get the sign off the post. So they uproot the entire post, toss it in my Jeep. So I have this big ass sign in my Jeep. They slammed the trunk, they almost break the back windshield because the post was too long. So we get going. I'm like, we're driving around with a stolen sign. We can't just have this out. So we get like a tarp or something and put it over. And like, still totally obvious, but at least we have deniability. But we're like, okay, we have to get the sign off the post. So we go to Walmart. Because, of course, it's Walmart. It's the only place that's open in a podunk town. We go to Walmart, middle of the night, and because we're idiots, we get like a hacksaw, we get Zippo lighters, we get lighter fluid, like just random things because we're idiots, and it just looks really suspicious. It's just sus all the way through. But, so we get the stuff, we go back to my car, my friend Evan, he starts hacking away at the bolts on the sign. And he's working up a sweat. The whole car stinks to high heaven of, like, metal and just, it's gross. He gets one of the bolts filed away, and he, like, twists the sign out of the way. And in the groove of the post is this massive spider's nest. And out comes the massive spider. I have never seen 4 guys jump and squeal out of a car so fast in my life. It was hilarious. So we get our brand new Zippo lighters and we light the thing on fire inside my car because smart. And so now the thing stinks to high heaven of all sorts of just unnecessary things. It's disgusting. So Evan is now tired. He's hungry. So we're like, what are we going to do now? Okay, let's go to Taco Bell. Again, only place that's open. So we cover up the sign again. We go to Taco Bell. We're bored. So we get one thing each time we go through the Taco Bell drive-thru. Just order one thing. We ended up going through, just in circles, we go through 6 different times to go through Taco Bell. The 6th time, we would have kept doing it, but there was a cop in front of us the 6th time that we went through. And we're watching the girl at the window lean out, talk to the cop, point back at us, talk to him a little bit more. They're both shaking their head. And we're like, we're screwed. We're screwed. I have a stolen sign in my car. We're screwed. So the cop leaves. He goes up on the hill and he's watching us. We get the last bit of our Taco Bell and then we're like, we have to leave. We have to go. So we do another loop around the entire town, just driving around. We give it enough time and we're like, we still have nothing to do. We go back to the plaza with all the different stores and we're in the Party City parking lot, which is completely abandoned other than the few shopping carts that are randomly put in the parking lot. So in my Jeep, I'm just start ramming into shopping carts, start putting around and pushing them around the parking lot, just ramming into shopping carts. And then as we're doing that, another cop rolls by, and he probably saw us, because, again, we're the only car in this entire parking lot, but he ignored us, but we're like, okay, we gotta go. So we did, we finally got the sign off of the post, and he had that thing all 4 years of college over his toilet. But yeah, that's what there was to do in St. Clairsville, along with, drugs and alcohol, but...
I was gonna say that.
That was it. And then you could meet at the SPL. That was the fun thing, to meet at the SPL.
What's the SPL?
The school parking lot. Because that was the thrilling thing to do. People would meet at the school parking lot and, there was the basketball hoop.
The SPL?
The SPL. Until that got shut down because people were being idiots. Mm-hmm. And then it moved to, I don't know if they got kicked out of there too, but there was the parking lot in front of Kirk's Ice Cream. So everybody moved over there. And they were just like, we don't mind if you're here, just don't vandalize anything. Because that's why we can't have nice things. So yeah, that's nothing to do. You just gotta make your own troublesome fun
in Ohio.
But do you know the camp that Frank and Joe had talked about? Joe had gone to an adult camp.
No.
You have not what?
Recently?
No, it was a while ago, but it was a summer camp, but for adults, and it was just a drink fest.
No, I don't remember this.
Oh, well, either way, I want to do something like that. I talked about Young Life Camp before. I would love to do, an adult version of Young Life Camp. Have all the different activities and stuff, and then, I don't drink, so it's whatever, but other people can do that, but, it'd be so much fun! I want to do something like that.
Yeah.
I probably could, but it would cost a fortune.
I loved going to summer camps. Even if I was too old to be there. I love doing activities and stuff. Oh my god.
That sounded so creepy.
Why?
You're too old to be there.
I know, but I like doing crafts.
Oh, hanging out with all your minions, too, yeah?
Yeah, and I like making a boondoggle. Can't start it, though.
Excuse me?
Boondoggle?
What?
You don't know what boondoggle is?
Why would I be asking what if I knew what it was?
It's that really thin, rubbery plastic string, and you, maneuver it around and it make a little keychain. I'm pulling up a picture.
What?
Oh my god, can you guys believe she's never heard of Good Mythical Morning or Boondoggle?
I'm pretty sure that's some cult shit that you are only privy to.
No, it's Boondoggle! Oh my god!
Nope.
I don't have service.
You don't have service?
Not really, no.
What? Alright, let me try.
Well, anyway.
How do you spell it? Boondoggle?
I don't know. I'm trying. Boondaggle.
Oh my god, it came up right away.
Yeah.
This is a thing?
Yeah, boondoggle.
Work or...
What?
Work or activity that is wasteful or pointless, but gives the appearance of having value.
Oh my god. That's the definition of it?
That's so harsh.
That's tough.
That's honestly my entire existence.
Are you looking at a boondoggle?
Or the other... I can't. The other definition. So that one was the noun. The verb of it is waste money or time on unnecessary or questionable projects. Oh my god.
Did you look at one?
No, I was too busy laughing at that. That's why I don't know what it is, because I actually value my time.
Okay. Listen, I'm gonna use that word a lot more often now that I know it has another meaning besides the little twisty craft that I used to do at summer camp, but
I'm pretty sure boondoggle means like an overarching definition, whereas, oh my god, you were right. The bracelet, the keychain.
you think I was lying?
Listen, when someone says boondoggle, that just sounds like some kind of twisted, made-up lie.
You have to be the only person I know that's never heard of boondoggle.
Oh my god. I was more busy having a life.
I'm making a poll on this episode. Have you heard of boondoggle? Yes or no?
Oh my god, that's so freaking funny. Oh my god.
It's like
I gotta get it together.
It's plastic. It's a plastic string. It sucks because it's so slippery, so you can't ever tie it right.
Oh my god.
But
you know what? You know what we'll do? We'll have our Barbie marathon, and we'll have boondoggle.
But listen, so it's like a big, like, boondoggle, there's, like, culture around boondoggle, okay? Because the older girls at camp would know how to start it. Because starting it and actually doing the twist of the boondoggle was two different things. I never learned how to start it, but you go to an older girl who you looked up to, and you'd say, can you start a boondoggle for me? She'd be, oh, sure. And so she would start it for you, and then you have 4, it might be 2 strings, but there's 4 loose ends, and you cross them like this, like 1,
because
you weave them in 4 directions. You weave them in 4 directions. One goes this way, the other one goes on top, then the other one goes on top of that, and then it goes underneath. And then you pull it tight, and then you keep doing it. And if you're good and you're smart at it, you don't twist the plastics. It's like flat and thin. It's like a linguine pasta.
This is thrilling.
I never did a lot of it because I was too much of a perfectionist. Like, because if you tie it too tight sometimes, then not as tight other times. Like, you have one part that's loose, one part that's skinny. Like, I can't believe you never did a boondoggle. Have you ever seen them before in your life?
I have seen them, but again, I was off doing other things.
Like driving around Taco Bell 6 times.
Yeah.
But I was doing boondoggle.
Oh, I love it so much. That's fantastic. Oh, that made my day.
Every year in early October, my friends and I go to Watkins Glen, the KOA there. And so the campgrounds that we go to have, like, little kid activities. And, like, since we've been going, like, we would all go, but now I'm the only one who go.
No, you know what I want? Who was I just telling this? I want Redneck Yacht Club. That song, I want that. That is exactly my dream. Redneck Yacht Club. Craig Morgan. Quit shaking your head. No.
I don't know what that is.
Ah! You get a bunch of boats, your friends all together, string them up like a floating trailer
That's
park.
what we always do.
I want that.
We do it all the time. Come with me and my friends. We do it all the time. We do it all the time.
I've never been invited.
I'll invite you.
That was so rude.
Well, that was rude that I just invited you.
No, it was rude that you've never invited me before.
Well, I don't, like, usually invite anybody, but I will invite you.
So I'm special case.
Yeah.
I'm just special.
No, we go, like, out to, like, a little bay, and then, I mean, it might be too late this year, but because it's nearing the end of summer, but next year, or maybe still this year, they get, like, a bunch of boats, and then they tie them all together.
That is
jet skis, too, and then...
Yeah, that is, like, everything to me. That's, like, my pinnacle dream. Okay, so I know we were talking about before.
It's not that exciting.
Like, when I was in high school or something, they were like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I'm like, all I want is to have an apartment with matching furniture. Because after visiting my friend at college and seeing him and his friends and everything, their apartments and their dorm rooms just being, like, scattered furniture that was, like, taken off the side of the road, nothing matches, nothing goes together, it horrified me to the point where I was like, I just want matching furniture. I just want a cohesive living space. And I've accomplished that. So my next dream is to have a lake house and a pontoon boat and a speedboat to go tubing and skiing and all that fun stuff. I want a couple jet skis, and I want to string them all together like a floating trailer park, and that's the pinnacle dream right there. I'm a lake person through and through, so...
We should have just switched childhoods, because that's what I had. I lived on a lake, and we had all this
Rub it in my face.
Stuff. No, but I didn't
suck.
Enjoy it. My dad didn't.
You suck!
My dad didn't let us enjoy it. He just made it be a lot of work and a lot of burden. But
what do they say? The best day of a man's life is the day he buys his boat and the day he sells his boat. The two best days? Whatever that saying is. I butchered it. Whatever. Move on.
No, I know what you mean.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Mary Grace?
I don't. That's the scary thing.
You just gonna check out?
No, I hope not.
You're gonna boondoggle your way into a grave?
You know what?
I'm never gonna let that go.
You know what? Maybe. Okay.
It'd be a good way to go.
I'll be a professional boondoggler. Boondogler.
Oh my god.
And I'll have all of this money and all these boondoggles surrounding me. Okay?
It's a lucrative business, isn't it?
Don't know what lucrative means.
Oh my god. No, okay. You know what we need to talk about? Future!
The future!
Because I've been wanting to talk to you about this. Have you been on TikTok? You have.
All the time.
The lives. You'll scroll and you'll see a live. What have your lives been recently?
No, there's this trend going around of people being like a, I don't know, like being an AI or whatever and just reacting to the gifts that people send them.
I am so, to my very core, disturbed by this.
It's because they're making a lot of money.
I don't care about that. I'm genuinely, when I come across it, I get like this weird soul-crushing, like, weird chills. It's truly disturbing to me. I am being the most judgmental person right now because these people need judged. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You're talking about people being like, tacos. Nom, nom.
Stop. It truly, it feels like someone is digging a knife into my bones. I don't like it. It's disturbing. Please stop. I need people to stop. This is not the world I want to live in. Please stop. It is so disturbing. I can't even function. I'm like, I freak out and I do the and I have to scroll real fast past it.
Yeah, I'm excited for that trend to be over. It's because, so when people send in, like, tacos, that's how they make their money. So when they're reacting to them in such a ridiculous way, people send more, and so that's why.
The way they, like, move is, like, this weird bouncy, like an avatar, and I'm like, it's really freaky. It freaks me out to a very fundamental level. It's not natural. It's not normal. There's something wrong with these people. I don't like it. And it needs to stop.
It'll be over soon.
Yeah, but what won't be over is the fascination with AI. How many movies do we have?
Mine's dying down because, okay, you know, like the Snapchat AI?
No, I don't have Snapchat.
Oh, Snapchat made its own, like, person. You know how, okay, so
like you can have a conversation with it?
You can have a conversation
Creepy.
with it.
Let's not do that.
And when it first appeared on the app, I would, like, mess around with it. And it had, like, good responses. But now, they've died down a lot.
Like the technology of it has...
yes.
Well, it's probably because they're not being updated enough. Because, like, the trend of it on
Maybe
Snapchat. But no, I just saw a video of somebody asking, like, an AI why they think they would be better, like, government leaders. And they're like, well, we don't have the biases that people do. And I'm like, well, you were programmed by a person with biases.
Right.
So, like, at your literal core, literally, you are biased. So, you are programmed to be unbiased in a biased fashion. I don't know. It just weirds me out, though. I'm like, how many movies do we have that say this is not a good idea? We are literally creating our own destruction. And it's insane. And that's honestly, that's another thing. Somebody, on TikTok, yeah, somebody said it best. Like, I feel like we are just fending off insanity. That's all, and it's exhausting. It's one insanity after another that we are fending off. Our world has just completely gone off the deep end with all this craziness, and I'm like, can we not get back to, like, what's important here? Like, wow, I went really dark, really deep, really quickly. But like, I don't care what is going on over, like, I'll have your political, have your whatever stances, but the fact of the matter is there are more important fish to fry, like the child sex trafficking issue going on. That needs to be number one priority. Because America is just like a huge mediator of that. Our government officials are like, they're not putting a crackdown on it because they're the customers. And I'm not afraid to say it. So that needs to be number one. I haven't seen it yet, but I really want to. I want to go see Sound of Freedom. And that's why nobody has ever heard of it, because they put down, they're shutting down advertisements on it. But it's, and I'm sorry, I forget his name, but this one gentleman took it upon himself to go to like Colombia and all these other places and track down sex trafficking and save these children out of it. And the whole movie is like following his story on how he saved, over 200 kids or something like that, and put a stop to a lot of sex trafficking rings. And I'm like, that's the kind of movie we need. That's the kind of inspiration that we need. Someone who's actually out there doing what needs to be done and putting a stop to this garbage. That is the most disgusting thing. And we're just letting it go. We're ignoring it because, the people in power are putting it, sweeping it under the rug. Mm-hmm. They don't want it to stop. I'm so disturbed. I'm so disturbed. And the fact that we are putting our energy and effort towards all this garbage and all this stupid stuff that's distracting us from what's important is so disturbing to me. And I can't stand by. I can't, and it's just frustrating because like, I don't know what to do. Because no one's teaching me. I don't know where to go. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know what to, and it's not just something I can Google. Like, what do I do? How do I help? Like, kind of need to all band together to, like, get these people out of positions of power because it's just disgusting. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Anyway. That's something, like, yeah.
I get really frustrated by, like you said, like, the loop of, like, the people who are in power are also the customers of it, so...
Mm-hmm. And it's the frustrating thing is the people in power are the most despicable, disgusting human beings because they will do and say and step on anybody they have to get to the top. And unfortunately, it's good people at the very bottom because they're not willing to step on people. They're not willing to do illegal things to get to the top. And so we're all just kind of going through life trying to get by because we're decent human beings doing the decent thing, and it doesn't get us anywhere. And it's just so disgusting to see the things that people are doing in power, and that, just like sheep's in the herd, we don't know what to do. We're just kind of following along because we don't have any actual real guidance to fix things. So I'm like, we just need a clean sweep. Just everyone out, put new people in there that aren't, ancient and actually have a freaking clue on what's going on in the world. And again, not insanity and all these crazies, actually get some, like, reasonable people. And trust me, they're out there. They're just, I don't know. We just need to queen sweep.
Queen sweep.
I'm doing so good.
If you watch Good Mythical Morning, they say queen sweep all the time. Okay. Do you think that we're taught at least in our society, to be, like, good people to make us easier to be stepped on?
Absolutely. That's the entire education system, is just to create sheeps in the herd. We're not taught how to be free thinkers. We're not taught how to think for ourselves. We are taught what to think and how to regurgitate what that thinking is, to just follow the mold, just to fall in line. That is exactly what it is. And that's why when people are free thinkers and they do try to get on platforms to be able to say what they need to say and be able to try and get a new message out there, try to get people to think for themselves or think in a new direction, they're usually shut down. They're cancel culture or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's because they're a threat to the status quo. Mm-hmm. And it's just disgusting. But like I said, the education system is the Common Core, that needs to go. Because that's literally doing nothing, but it's the banking concept of education. We are literally just trading our education, like what we're thinking, for grades. We're only being taught to get the grades. We're not taught how to think, how to figure things out, how to make an opinion of ourselves, how to create a living person that actually goes out and contributes, but rather just follow in line, status quo. You work towards the test. When you pass your grade and you get your grade, you forget everything that you've learned. And that's all Common Core is just make sure you get the statistics, make sure you get the grades, rather than having it be more free-flowing and give kids the opportunity to create the people they need to be to create progress. And it's disgusting. It's the banking concept. We're literally just buying our grades, and it's no longer teaching us how to be progressive and functioning members of society. You know, there's no free thinking. And anytime, and that's actually the one thing, oh, you got me going now. I'm just, ugh. One of the first things, if not the first thing, that my teacher said in my sociology class, and I loved sociology, don't get me wrong, but one of the first things she said is, you can have your thoughts and you can have your beliefs and your opinions outside of the classroom, but in here, this is what we're going to know and believe. And I'm like, that's not how education is supposed to work. This is supposed to be an opportunity to get different perspectives, different opinions, going into a similar area of study to figure out it from all different perspectives, to figure out the best solution that helps the majority. And it's just so frustrating because like, you're immediately shutting down how many people, how many ways of life, how many cultures, how many, you know, you're saying, this is what we believe. That's not what I believe, but now I don't have room to speak. Now I don't have room to be able to give my life experience because what you're saying, the solutions that you're giving based off of this one belief, it doesn't fit for me. And if it doesn't fit for me, it doesn't fit for other people. So let's try to find more common ground here because it's not happening when you shut stuff down like that. And it's so frustrating. And my biggest thing, you really got me going now. So we learned in 6th grade math class that when you're looking at the average and the mean, when you're finding the mean of a data set, that you have to set aside outliers. Because if you include an outlier in the main set of data, you're going to skew the results. So they have to be considered separately. Unfortunately, the way our world is working right now is focusing only on the outliers. That's all you ever hear because that's the newsworthy, that's the standout, that's whatever people want to focus on is the outliers. But you cannot run a society on the outliers. You have to look at the majority, you have to look at the mean set of data to figure out that what works for the most people, the majority. And I'm sorry, but like extenuating circumstances will always have to be the case for outlying issues. And that's no problem with that. And I don't care what your beliefs are and everything. The fact of the matter is that all around the world, murder is considered bad. It's a big no-no. But in extenuating circumstances, it is completely okay to end someone else's life to protect your own. So in extenuating circumstances, something really bad is justifiable. So when you have to look at the overall. Murder is bad. That's the overall. The extenuating circumstances, they have to be looked at separately. And I take that and kind of apply it to pretty much every other argument. You have to take the overall majority and say, this is bad, this is good, let's focus on that. And then focus on the extenuating circumstances later. You cannot take, and I know I just said that, but you cannot run a society based off of the outliers. And that's all we're doing right now. And that's why we're not getting anywhere. Because we're not actually focusing on the big meat and potatoes of the problem. So it's just really frustrating to see the stupidity and the just craziness that people are so adamant on going off of the deep end and only focusing on that because that's what gets the attention. I'm like, I don't care. What's the real problem here? So there's my analogy for the day. Take it as you will. People are insane. And I don't have the patience for it anymore. I want to deal with the things that are really important. And I don't have patience or energy to deal with the stupidity and the hypocrisy and just the outlying nonsense. So, I need a nap after that. I did the thing. I know I told you. When I get like really excited, I breathe in more than I breathe out because even though I'm talking a lot, it's not getting out enough. So like, I feel my chest expanding too much and I'm like, I can't breathe! Oh my god.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Okay.
I hate that thing your professor said about, like, this is the opinion we're going to focus on in this class, because that's not how the world is. Mm-hmm. The world is full of diverse opinions, so if you're being fed one and taught that, like, that this is what we're going to focus on, it's not how the world is.
That's why I also don't like watching the news, because of how unbelievably skewed and biased it is. It depends on which broadcast you see first, and that's what your opinion is going to probably be based off of another person's opinion. Rather than the news used to be, here's what happened, not here's what we think happened, not
here's how to feel about it.
Yeah, there was no personality to it. It was just, here's this happened, this happened, this happened. Not this happened because of this person wanted this or that. None of that. And that's what the news needs to get back to. And that's why I also think that We need body cameras on every single police officer, and if it gets turned off, you're held liable for it. That needs to be illegal. That's to protect everybody, and it needs to be on every single chest of every single police officer. Which also makes me think of the fact that we did get ding-dong ditched again last night, and I think I told this story. I don't know what I said. But we got ding-dong ditched, and I'm like, that takes some balls to do that nowadays. You know, like, I don't really care. I used to ding-dong ditch when I was a kid. But nowadays, in today's society, one, you can't get away with it. There's Ring cameras and, you know, security cameras all over the place, which we do have these kids on camera. It's just a matter of actually getting it clear enough because they're going to get caught. But you have cameras everywhere, and then also people are a little bit quick to shoot first, ask questions later. So, like, you got guts, kids, but, you know, this is an old person, you know, apartment complex. Like, do that somewhere else. You know, and when I was a kid, my mom would not let us do it at night because it was really, really disruptive. Obviously, not cool. So we had to do it in the dead-ass middle of the day. I didn't tell you the story.
I don't think so.
I think I told you this before. But we had to do it in the middle of the day, and there was this one house that we kept hitting because the woman just got really upset. And it was funny. We were stupid kids. And we banged on the door and the garage door and the windows and everything. We went scattering once. She came out. She hollered and stuff. We did it again. But she was waiting and ready for us. So the second time we did it, I only had time to get behind the tree that was right in her front yard. And so she's standing on her porch and she's hollering and yelling, and I'm standing right there, and I'm like, oh, frick, if she comes out like 3 feet, I'm busted. I'm like, oh, God. And then there was another house that was like an apartment, like duplex, or there was like 3 units in one building. And so me, my brother, and one of our other buddies, we all took one doorbell. We all rang it at the same time. Again, middle of the day, though. So we take off running, and as we take off, someone pulls into the driveway. And I'm like, oh my God. So, yeah. But again, this is in the days before all these kind of security measures, and then people were trigger happy kind of thing. So, wouldn't do it nowadays. So, but yeah. Crazy world that we live in. Where did I come from that?
Police having body cams on.
Yeah. Train of thought. Wow. It's just going all over the place, I guess. But yeah, I don't like the way the world is going, and the fact that we're focused on such stupid things. And it's all distraction measures, honestly. Here's me in my tinfoil hat. But like all the crazy like news things that you see nowadays, I 100%, I'm like, there is something else going on that you're trying to distract us from. It's all smoke and mirrors. The government is nothing but smoke and mirrors. And if something crazy, you know, what is the thing that they were talking about that, you know, they basically said that aliens are real and nobody cares. One, I don't think they actually admitted that there's aliens. They said, you know, the wording that they used was
like there
weird.
Was contact, but it wasn't human, but we don't know what it was.
What did they say? It was like non-human biogenics, which is a bird, which is, you know, any animal, any non-human thing, you know. So I saw this one guy, he said that, yeah, if someone uses their drone and flies it over, that's technically a, what do they call it, UAP now? Instead of a UFO, it's a UAP. So if it's an unidentified, you know, airspace, I don't know what it stands for. Airplane, something. But like someone flies their drone over land that's not technically theirs, it hits a bird and collapses. That is a UAP with non-human biogenics. So did they admit there's aliens? I don't think so. Do I believe in aliens? Yes, I do. But distraction measure. And then the whole thing with like the Titan going on, and then they were like, there's a light on Saturn. Nobody cares. There are so many bigger fish to fry. Nobody cares. And if like aliens were to attack, I think people would probably thank them and say, carpet bomb the planet, we're done. I think we would thank them at this point because this Earth sucks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we need a way out.
I don't know. I'm just so tired of it. I'm so tired of the garbage. And like I've said before, I don't trust anybody on anything. So.
That's smart. That's a good way to be.
It's a frustrating way to be, though. That's I keep my circle very small because I just can't stand people. I don't trust people. And so it can tend to be a little bit sad, a little bit lonely if I cared more. I'm not lonely because I just don't care. Solitude. I love it. Get out of my house.
Okay.
Your face. That was priceless.
I'll talk to you guys later.
But yeah, okay. So yeah, I went on my rant. I really do need a nap now. Anyway. But yeah, AI needs to die.
Yeah?
AI needs to die. Yeah.
I don't know. Part of me thinks that it will, take over, like how we kind of predicted it would, but also part of me thinks like it's kind of just a trend, and I feel like it will die away.
I hope. I certainly hope so. What do you want the future to be like? Future!
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say what I want it to be like. I think some people are headed in a good direction, but not enough people. I feel like a lot of people are very aware, and a lot of people are getting into, like, more, I don't know what you would call it, earth-friendly sources of energy, and people are saving money and having gardens and doing a bunch of good things, but I don't think it's enough people.
You know what I heard? Don't know if it's true. I doubt that it's true. But it wouldn't put... I wouldn't be surprised. I heard that the latest UN meeting, that America was the only country in the UN that voted that food was not a human right. That's what I heard. Is it true? Who knows? I gotta look into it a little bit more. Am I even the slightest bit surprised that our U.S. government would say that?
No.
Not at all.
No.
So, yeah.
Things are so messed up. But it's like, I can't focus on it too much because I get really anxious about it, and there's nothing I can really do.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, the simple solution is America joins together and demands that our government makes it legal. Because in a lot of places, it's not legal to have a food garden in your own yard.
Mm-hmm.
I can't collect the rainwater off my own roof. Excuse me?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of insanity are we living in where that's the case? And so it's bullshit like that America actually needs to say, hey, government, remember that you actually work for us, not the other way around. This is what we want, and you're going to give it to us. If you don't give it to us, we're going to take it. And we're going to start planting gardens in our own freaking yard. We're going to collect the rainwater off our own freaking roof. And if everybody does it, then they can't arrest everybody. And if they do, then we're just going to freaking break out of prison and cause chaos. I'm like, what do you want? I'm not inciting violence. Please don't actually cause chaos, people. There's better ways to go about it. There's legal ways to go about it.
I don't know. I'm for it.
What, the chaos? I'm for controlled chaos.
Yeah.
I'm
exactly.
for everybody banding together and saying, no, this is what we're going to do. I'm all for people planting gardens and just being like, big old middle finger to the government. Like, this is what we're doing now, screw you.
Yes.
Yeah. You got me really riled up. I'm so...
Sorry.
Oh my god. It's just not hard. It's not hard to be sane. Apparently it is.
Apparently it is.
Oh man, I don't know. I've said it jokingly, but at the same time, I'm serious. Carpet bomb the planet. If this is the way we're going, I'm done.
How do you think? Like, what do you think about the world ending and stuff? Do you think that one day it'll just all like explode on itself, or do you think humanity will die off, or do you think things will turn around?
Well, to be completely honest, I am of the belief the good Lord will have his second coming and put an end to all this nonsense. But I'm hoping that sooner rather than later. Oh my god, my favorite. And see if you can beat the second coming of... Oh my god, I love it. A Knight's Tale?
You were talking about this last
You
week.
haven't seen A Knight's Tale yet.
That was a week ago!
Guess what we're doing? See if you can beat the second coming of... But yeah. So that's how the world is going to go. But if the world continues as it is, I remember my ecology professor talking about how the world does not have enough sustainable resources to keep the population going as it is. And if we want the population to keep increasing, because why would we want that? I don't understand. Like, stop. But, capitalism. So if we want the population to continue increasing, we're going to have to find new ways of renewable sources, including as far as, like, food goes. He was like, the only way to do it, bugs.
And I'm like, eating bugs.
We gotta start eating bugs. And I'm like, I will gladly die before I do that. with the utmost of excitement, I would die before I go to bugs. And I think we talked about it before. Some places, like crickets and stuff, are a delicacy.
Yeah.
I am not of the delicacy mindset.
There are a lot of bugs. There's a lot of bugs.
No, thank you. He's like, there's more types of beetles on Earth than humans. Wow. He's so cute. My professor is so cute. I adore that man. His excitement for the subject and his profession made me excited for ecology. He was so cute. I love that. He got really happy about things. He's like, beetles. Wow.
Wow.
So, but no. What would be your ideal apocalypse?
Ideal?
Yeah.
Like, if it was gonna go down, like, how would I want it to go?
Would you go Rambo style, or, like, would you try to survive, or would you... Because I would just sit back and let it happen and just...
No, I would just enjoy my final moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just enjoy it. I'm not fighting it, because why would I? Why would I want to... say I survive, why would I want to be, like, the last person?
Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't get that. I have several different series of different apocalypse and stuff, and trust me... If an apocalypse, depending on which kind of apocalypse happened, I would be prepared. I know how to go about it. But would I? I don't know.
Have you seen A Quiet Place?
Yes.
And A Quiet Place 2?
Yeah, not 2. I want to.
Oh, the second one's way better.
Is it?
You have to.
That's so exciting.
Like, they're both amazing, but the second one has more plot to it.
That's so rare for the second one to be better. Oh, that's so good to hear.
I saw this meme that was like, why do these people want to live so badly?
That's just it. I'm like, I would not want to live in a constant state of fear.
No.
No, thank you. I'm good. I'm so good.
We have to watch it. I have it on DVD. The second one.
I got my theater set up in there with my projector and everything. That'd be a good time. Heck yeah, bring it over next time.
Do you still want to see the Barbie movie after this?
I was going to ask you the exact same thing. I was like, are we still doing our movie date? Yeah. Well, what we were going to do, Barbie or Oppenheimer? What are we doing?
I want to do Barbie.
Okay. I got to text up Kendra. See if she's still free.
Right now? Today?
Yeah.
Like after this?
Yeah.
Where?
I was thinking Destiny.
Okay.
Isn't that the only place? Shopping Town's done.
No idea. Yeah. R.I.P. Love Shopping Town.
I did it again. I just spit. I get all excited, and then my nose gets stuffed up, and then I can't breathe. And oh my god, I'm a disaster.
Spit on the floor.
And I apologize, people. If you ever hear like me sniffling, it's because I get excited. And my nose gets stuffed up for some reason. So I'm like,
I do too.
I'm not sick. I'm just weird.
Maybe you're both. Maybe you're a little bit of both.
I claim both.
You're sick for not knowing what a boondoggle is.
I'm sick in the head, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really gross. I'm like sniffling in sleep.
It's okay. I have like a sniff habit. I'm trying to do it less. I have like a.
Do we need to take
like
you to rehab?
Nervous tick. No.
You sniffing?
No.
You doing that good?
I wish. Bring on the apocalypse as long as I have that friggin' cocaine.
Oh my god.
Cocaine.
Oh man.
Bum.
Do you have anything to teach me today?
Sure.
We're switching gears over. I don't know what time are we at?
We're at 1 hour and 8 minutes.
Yeah, we're so good. Like, teach me something new, Mary Grace.
Well, because we talked about it, I think last week, I just brought some like historical time overlap weird things.
Yes.
So I like those.
Okay, I love it.
I didn't pick any out. I figured I would just
go through them.
Just go for it.
I'm also going to need you to like full on act it out. Set your stage. Have your what's it called? Your sign space. Figure out that, and I need you to act it out.
Act it out?
Yeah.
These are just like facts. Okay. Harriet the tortoise.
Oh, we need to start filming. That was great. All right. Go on.
Okay, Harriet the tortoise, who died in 2006, had seen Charles Darwin in person.
Wait. How old was it? What?
So the tortoise died in 2006, and it saw Charles Darwin in person. She had estimated age of 175 by the time she finally died at Steve Irwin Zoo.
Oh.
Harriet the tortoise was reportedly collected by Charles Darwin during the 1835 visit to the Galapagos Islands.
I was going to say, you said Charles Darwin. I was like, Galapagos.
Galapagos. Alright, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Woolly mammoths were still alive while Egyptians were building the pyramids.
Yes.
I like that one.
What do you think? Do you think they used woolly mammoth? Wait, they weren't in the same locations.
Probably not, no.
That was dumb!
I think they spun it around. I saw this TikTok where this guy was lifting up a heavy thing and he, like, spun around, and because of, like, the
momentum or something?
The momentum, it made it lighter. And someone was like, this is how the pyramids are made. And I was like, maybe.
What's that one meme? Aliens.
Aliens.
Okay.
Oxford University existed for hundreds of years before the Aztec Empire was founded.
Damn. That's old.
That's old. George Washington died in 1799. The first dinosaur fossil was discovered in 1824, so George Washington never knew dinosaurs existed. Can you imagine?
That is so trippy. What? What do you think? Do you believe the dinosaurs that we know, like large reptiles kind of thing, or do you think they were more bird-like? Because it's all guesswork. They've, like, archaeology, whoever is discovering this stuff,
well, why does nobody put, like, a little bit of, like blubber on them? How come they're always skinny? Why can't they be a little chubby?
Well, I think they're probably, so the new idea, because they've admitted that it's all guesswork. They're putting skeletons together and how they think they work. But with T-Rexes and their little baby arms, me and my little baby arms, they think that the new idea is that they put the skeleton together backwards a little bit, and so it's little baby arms. Instead of going forward and being completely useless, they're actually supposed to go backward, and they're more like ostrich bones, like ostrich wings. And just like an ostrich, they're thinking maybe T-Rexes were more bird-like, and they can't fly, but they had wings. Because how much more freaking awesome would that be?
That's weird.
A T-Rex having freaking wings and being such a freaking badass and having feathers and stuff.
That's very interesting.
I love that idea.
Yeah, because why do we make them reptilian all the time?
Because they don't know. Because feathers don't preserve.
That sucks.
So they don't know if they had feathers or not. But then there's the talk about the fact that chickens are descendants of dinosaurs or whatever. So I'm like, well, if that's a descendant of dinosaurs, why wouldn't they be feathered and squawk like chickens way back when?
Maybe they were feathered.
So instead of roaring, I think they squawk.
Have you seen that meme where it's like, no, I haven't said anything yet.
I know, but it's still funny.
No, you're not
no,
thinking of the same one.
No, what?
It's like a stegosaurus or whatever it is. I don't know. One of them with like the big body and the long neck and the face. And they're like, why do we think they looked like this, like a reptile? Maybe they looked like this. And it's like a stegosaurus and it just has like a wig. Like just the head has just like a long brunette straight-haired wig on it. Why not?
Maybe. It's all guesswork.
Stupid.
I love it.
I like this one a lot. Anne Frank and Martin Luther King Jr. were born in the same year.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That one trips me out.
It's really weird.
My favorite one is that Cleopatra was pharaoh closer to the time of the moon landing than she was the building of the pyramids. That's trippy. That's my favorite. What else you got?
Today's oldest living tree, a Bristol cone pine, was already 1,000 years old when the last woolly mammoth died. That's old.
It's still up today?
Yeah, the oldest tree.
Holy heck. I want to go to the Redwood Forest.
Star Wars came out the same year as the last guillotine execution in France in 1977. Did you know that?
I knew that. Yeah.
That's weird.
It is weird. It's kind of unfortunate that they stopped using it. I'm kidding. What?
If you had to guillotine one person, who would it be?
I can't say that out loud.
Oh.
I have a few.
Just stack them up and just put fing, fing, fing.
What was that? What was that?
Fing, fing, fing. That's the blade going through each neck.
Fing, fing, fing.
Fing, fing, fing. Like. Who's the artist? I don't think I have it on here, but who was the artist that died like in the 70s?
Monet? I just said the first artist that came to mind.
I don't think that's it. Wasn't it like... No. Like artist, not musical
Salvador
artist.
Dali.
No.
You say no. I'm just shouting out names. I don't know. I know. Oh, what's his face? Not Monet. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I knew that.
The other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
serious.
Oh. What are you trying to look up?
Painter, artist that died in the 70s. Picasso!
That's it. I knew it started with a P.
Picasso died in 73.
Yeah.
That's messed up. That was so recent.
Yeah. Well, I always thought, like, Einstein, he's recent too.
Yeah.
He's not back in the heydays or whatever that you always picture him. He was, like, recent.
The fax machine was invented the same year the first wagon crossed the Oregon Trail.
Oregon?
Oregon? What do you say?
I don't know. Now we said too many things. I don't know. Oregon?
Princess Diana and Mother Teresa died days apart in 1997.
Who now? What do you know? Mother Teresa and...
Princess Diana.
Okay, yeah. That is a story that always fascinates me.
Princess Diana?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like the whole thing, her death, like everything that went down with it. That's fascinating. Like,
I don't know a single thing about it.
really?
Really?
Oh my.
Was she killed?
Supposedly. It was made to look like an accident, but people were like, was it an accident or was it a, murked her? Questions and answers.
What is the general, like, consensus of what happened? Because I don't even know.
I think the general consensus is that it was staged to look like an accident, like, because she got married to what's-his-face that everybody hates. He's king now.
Mm-hmm.
And he cheated with the queen, who's currently queen, or like queen, whatever. And her revenge dress, woo, girl looked good. After he admitted on cheating on her, she wore this gorgeous dress that just had all eyes on her. I was awesome. But then she left a restaurant with some guy because now after like him cheating on her, I'm doing such a good job of explaining this, but after him cheating on her, she was just like, well, screw you, I'm gonna live my life. And so there was like rumors of her being with this guy and this guy and this guy, whatever. And then she was coming out of a dinner or coming out of a hotel, coming out of somewhere, getting into the car, was chased down by paparazzi, and the paparazzi was chasing her car. There was like a tunnel, and because of issues or whatever, because they were being chased, that lost control, she ended up dying. But then there was questions on whether or not somebody actually called the ambulance in time, or did they wait until she was more injured? Was the driver under the influence of something? Did he do it on purpose? Was he paid off? Was the paparazzi actually trying to, just catch up to get a story, or did they actually cause the accident? There's a whole lot of this or that or the other kind of thing. But I think the general consensus of the people in the world, at least of what I've heard, is like, yeah, it's suspicious. It wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
But yeah, fascinating story.
That's
fascinating life. She was the people's princess. Like, everybody loved her. So.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
I like stories like that like no one really knows what happened.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah. That was fun. I loved it.
Let's go see Barbie.
Heck yeah, man. We'll see. Maybe next week I'll have my rant. I'm really critical when it comes to movies.
Oh, good. Yeah,
I think I talked about the fact that I was just watching Tangled, a movie that I've seen 10,000 times, and it's like perfection. And even that, I'm like picking it apart and analyzing the animation of it. I can't just sit back and enjoy something. I'm like, I have to analyze it. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's do this. I ain't wearing pink.
Oh man, I did by accident.
Yeah. I don't think I have a single article of pink clothing. So
that's all right.
Exciting news.
We're everywhere. We're taking over. We are the government, and we are in power.
I did not. Yes, I didn't know how to put words to that fact, but yes, that is true.
We're taking over. You can check us out now anywhere you get your podcasts.
Other than
iHeartRadio, Amazon,
just not Apple.
not Apple yet. We're working with an Apple directly, so just give us time.
Their people are with our people.
We're both very busy, so just give us a time and we'll work it out with Apple. But find us everywhere. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok.
Soon to be YouTube.
Soon to be YouTube. We're on Google Podcasts.
But if you're here, you're here. Be everywhere
Sorry.
else. All right, yeah. Moving on. Until next week, talk at you.
Talk at you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Good stuff.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello.
Hi.